That would be an utter disgrace and an utter kick in the face to the members of this House.
The Friday dump, it's the oldest trick in the political playbook. Release the bad news when the cameras are off and the House is empty. But for one MP, this isn't just a tactic. It's a declaration of war against Parliament.
Once again, it seems to me we are becoming second-class citizens with the government. I don't want that to be the case.
Second-class citizens. That's the feeling when the people elected to lead the country stop talking to the people elected to watch them, and the tension is about to boil over.
But I understand he wanted to get that for his social media clip, so perhaps, into knowing the answer, he would already have it.
The government isn't just dodging the question. They're mocking the very idea of accountability. Share this video right now. Subscribe. And let's roll the session.
Obviously, we're going to come to the statement. But I have got concern. There are strong rumours that the government is going to produce its defence investment plan on Friday. That would be an utter disgrace and an utter kick in the face to the members of this House. I would say to Downing Street, government's responsibility of the Ministerial Code states major announcements should be made here. Once again, this may be speculation, and I'm sure it will be corrected, but I will be appalled if it is done on a Friday when members have been waiting so long. This is all parties, including the government benches, who have great interest in the defence plan. We all have jobs. We all have people who serve in the armed forces. So surely we must end this speculation and treat this House with the respect that members were elected here to. Yeah. Once again, it seems to me we are becoming second-class citizens with the government. I don't want that to be the case, and I hope that I'm going to be proved wrong. Right, let us come to the urgent question. Chef Secretary of State.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To ask the Secretary of State for Defence if he will make a statement on the Defence Investment Plan.
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the Prime Minister set out today at Prime Minister's Questions and the Defence Secretary outlined just last week, we will publish the Defence Investment Plan ahead of the NATO summit in just a few weeks' time. The Prime Minister, Defence Secretary and all the Defence team are determined to get the dip right, to ensure we deliver the best equipment and technology into the hands of our frontline forces, investing in and growing the UK economy. We're determined to make the right choices for the country, to ensure the UK is secure at home and strong abroad. Even as we finalise the dip, we continue to back British jobs, British businesses and British innovation. Since July 2024, the government has now signed 1,400 major contracts, with 94% of that going in terms of spend going to UK-based firms. In just the past 4 weeks, we've announced a £115 million hybrid Navy package for the UK-led mission in the Strait of Hormuz, a £1 billion contract for new mobile artillery for the British Army, rapidly procured new weapons for our Typhoons, already deployed to shoot down drones at low cost, 13 new contracts up to £4 million each, with small homegrown British businesses to foster growth and innovation to find the next £1 billion UK defence unicorn, an Armed Forces pay award of 3.6%, meaning most personnel have now received a cumulative pay award of 14.1% since this Labour government was formed. And let's not forget, it was the party opposite that left the defence programme overcommitted, underfunded and unsuited to the threats we now face. In their first year in government, they cut defence spending by £2 billion. In their first 5 years of government, cut by £12 billion. This Labour government is rearming and renewing our armed forces and ending the Tory hollowing out, spending over £11 billion more this year on defence than the last year of the Conservative government. Our defence investment plan, delivering our strategic defence review, will put that right. Backed by our commitment to the largest sustained increase in defence spending since the Cold War, backed by the most ambitious programme of defence reform in 50 years, we will deliver for Britain, deliver for defence.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and I'm grateful to Mr. Speaker for granting this urgent question. Before I begin, may I pay tribute to the 3 Royal Navy personnel who tragically died in a helicopter crash last week, and we offer our heartfelt condolences to the families from this side of the House. Now, after months of delay, Madam Deputy Speaker, there has been very considerable speculation that the Defence Investment Plan will finally be delivered this week. Is that the case? Specifically, and to echo what Mr. Speaker just said, there has also been considerable speculation that the DIP may be published on Friday. Madam Deputy Speaker, as Mr. Speaker said, this House is not sitting on Friday. Let's be clear, with war on two fronts, this is not just another government publication, but given the context, a vital moment for our country and for this Parliament. So does the Minister understand that it would be totally unacceptable to all colleagues if the Defence Investment Plan was published on a day when the House is not sitting?
Biggest line, you don't back your own plan.
So can he explicitly confirm when he gets up that the Defence Investment Plan will be published when the House is sitting? Now, Madam Deputy Speaker, you need no reminding of the total shambles in this chamber last June when Labour published their Strategic Defence Review, giving advance sight of the market-sensitive document to the defence industry from 8 a.m. that morning, while I, as Shadow Defence Secretary, never got to see a copy before responding to it from this dispatch box. So can the Minister also give all colleagues on all sides an absolute assurance that whenever the DIP is published, before the actual document itself is shared with any other external stakeholders, first sight will be reserved for members of this House? Now, Madam Deputy Speaker, there's a reason the DIP has been delayed so long, and that's because Labour still haven't worked out how to pay for it. But former Labour Defence Secretary George Robertson and their former Labour Prime Minister Tony Blair both know the answer. They should cut welfare to fund defence. So if the Minister disagrees and believes the welfare budget should not be touched to fund defence, can he at least tell us if the Defence Investment Plan will set out a fully funded path to 3% of GDP on defence? And crucially, has the Treasury actually signed off the Defence Investment Plan yet? Finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, last week the Secretary of State said at Defence Orals that the Prime Minister was determined to publish the Defence Investment Plan by the NATO summit, which begs the following question. Which NATO summit and which Prime Minister?
Can I join the honourable gentleman in passing on my personal condolences? As a Devon MP, the helicopter crash in Devon hit my military city that I represent very hard, as someone that comes from a Royal Navy family and knows many people who fly similar helicopters, and I welcome the cross-party support for the families and the victims. He asked when the DIP will be published. As the Prime Minister and the Defence Secretary has said, it will be published before the NATO summit in only a few weeks' time. The few weeks' time piece should have answered his final question, but I understand he wanted to get that for his social media clip, so perhaps into knowing the answer, he would already have it. He also would know that the SDR wasn't market sensitive, and so when he said that, that's not actually correct. But we will be very clear that we are investing more in defence. We're ending the hollowing out and underfunding that his government presided over. We're very clear it will be published before the NATO summit. And I know he can keep chuntering, but I'm trying to answer his questions. He had an opportunity to ask them. Let me have a go at trying to do them. As he's choosing not to do that, spending decisions are made by the Prime Minister. Spending decisions, he's still chuntering, it's not good. Spending decisions will be made by the Prime Minister and the Chancellor in the usual way as affecting any government department, including defence, and will publish the Defence Investment Plan before the NATO summit.
Select Committee Chair Tamsin Dessy.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. And I associate myself with the comments of the Minister and the Shadow Defence Secretary, and my heartfelt condolences and sympathies with the families of our brave service personnel who have sadly perished. Madam Deputy Speaker.
So here is the question, and I am pinning the best comment. If a government hides a major national security plan by publishing it on a day Parliament isn't sitting, is that efficient governance or a betrayal of democracy? Leave your answer below. Like this. Subscribe.